Hey everyone, Shabby here, and we are back with the SWE World Cup quarterfinals. Hopefully, majoritively cough-free, but I can't promise anything. This is our first quarterfinal. This is going to be New Zealand, who came first in Group A, taking on Japan, who came second in Group B. Two massive teams. And here is our opening match of the evening. It will be Bad Luck Fale taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, of course, remember, it is different now. Whereas before all the points went together into a group stage, this is now knockout. So essentially, whoever gets the most points on the evening goes through. It does not matter how many points you win by, as long as you do win. It won't help you out any later on. Now, the way that the groups have been, or the way that the knockouts have been set up, is we've got New Zealand versus Japan. Of course, this match here. They'll be taking on the winners of our fourth quarterfinal, which is Canada versus Germany. Now, the reason I've done that is that I wanted to split people up. I didn't want to end up with a situation where the people can meet each other again in the groups. So, for example, USA, who finished second in Group A, is now on the other side of the knockout stage, is now faced up against the winners of Mexico and Ireland. So essentially, yeah, we won't see USA versus New Zealand again unless both teams make their way to the final. So that's the sort of way we've done it. I hope that makes sense. It'll be on the... I haven't done the blogger yet, have I? I'll have to update the blogger. I literally think there's nothing on the blogger at all. That's terrible, isn't it? I'll get that sorted. Hopefully by now we'll have a full blogger going and you'll be able to see exactly the way that's all going to work. It's good though. I like it. I like the way it's all panned out. I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed the World Cup at all. Of course, the Football World Cup is now finished. It was won by France, and France was a team that we were looking to have as part of our World Cup, but we struggled really with teams. Thought about Rene Dupree and Sylvain Grenier, but I think they were French-Canadian, weren't they? But maybe we could have got away with that being French. Andre the Giant's French. But I don't know. It's a tricky one. There was only so many places for teams, obviously, we could use, so we didn't want to go too over the top, I suppose, if you look at it that way. Hey, but hoping you guys have enjoyed this World Cup. Like I said, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterfinals, of course. Got the 2 semis and then the final, and also a third place playoff as well to come. So, still got 8 more videos left for this World Cup, and this weekend I'm going to do a little video talking about what we're going to plan out next in SWE. So, of course, if you are around this weekend, please check that video out. It's basically just me coming to you and saying, what do you want to do? How should we play this? And just see what you fancy watching, I suppose. Got a few different suggestions. We've got some universe modes, we've got some tournaments, and also some alternative things that we could look at doing as well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. Should be fun. But yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bad Luck Fale. Both guys have had, I don't think they've won all their matches so far. I really should have kept the rest of the paperwork, shouldn't I really? But I think I've thrown the rest of the paperwork, so I don't honestly know. But of course, Japan struggled. They literally just about scraped into this round due to India basically getting a really strong performance against the UK, which put the UK out. Japan was able to sneak up and knock the UK out and steal that position, which they did pretty well to do. I think UK needed 3 points, I think, to go through, and they lost 4-1 to India, so they were a bit... it's a bit poor one for the UK, and I was very disappointed with that. I must with the UK, England, and I must admit I was very disappointed with that. But it's the way it works. We don't cheat around here. We let the game do what it wants to do, and we have had some really interesting results throughout our history in SWE. If you've been around long enough, you might remember the R-Truth winning the King of the Ring and then beating Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Championship. No matter what I put in R-Truth's way, I think he defeated Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho, I believe, in successive matches. He was literally there to make up the numbers. And he beat Benoit, Jericho and Guerrero in individual matches to win the King of the Ring. In the next pay-per-view, he faced off against Randy Orton with Batista at ringside and won the Intercontinental Championship. I was just sat there like, oh my god, what am I watching right now? I could not believe what I was seeing, and it was that's the way it works. We let the game do exactly what it wants to do, and so far, I think it's done pretty well. We've got a pretty strong set of quarterfinals. There's a couple of teams, well, not surprising as such. India surprised me a bit, to be honest. I expected India to get knocked out, but New Zealand was one of those sort of ones that, I don't know. They are a very strong side. Sneakily strong, actually. I didn't quite... They sort of came out of nowhere, really. I didn't expect them to get through because I really thought that Europe was going to do pretty well. But obviously Europe ended up finishing bottom of the group, so they weren't very good, were they, really? But there you go. As we are underway, this first point is going to be very important. So remember, as normal, single point each for the 3 singles matches, and then 2 points for the 6-man tag, which means that if you do win all the 3 singles matches, you are safe. You will definitely go through, but and that's going to be pretty difficult now because there's so many strong people left in this competition. A nice reverse suplex there by Shinsuke Nakamura on Bad Luck Fale. Just a bit of fun. You guys, like I said, we've got New Zealand versus Japan, Canada versus Germany, India versus the USA, and Mexico versus Ireland. So after all you've seen so far in this World Cup, why don't you drop down in the comment section down below who you believe is going to go on to win this World Cup. We've got 8 teams left. Like I said, New Zealand, Japan, Canada, Germany, India, the USA, Mexico, and Ireland. Who do you think is going to go on to win? Now, on paper, in my mind, I believe that Japan and USA are probably the strongest 2 teams. Canada's not far behind. None of them are far behind, I suppose. India was the one that I would say on paper are probably the weakest. Jinder Mahal, the Great Khali, and Sanjay Dutt, but they've proved me wrong so far with how well they've competed, so... Nakamura looking to drop a knee, but it was avoided. And now Bad Luck Fale dropping Nakamura into a gutbuster. And now into a gut wrench suplex as well. Can Bad Luck Fale pull this one off? Be a massive win for him if he does. And Bad Luck Fale has impressed me so far in this competition. I mean, I know he was good, but compared to some of the people he's been facing, I really didn't think he would do this well. I thought he might struggle here and there, but there's a pin by Shinsuke. Too close to the ropes. A trip there by Fale. Now brings Nakamura back up. Into the corner he goes. Slamming the face of Nakamura into that top turnbuckle. And Bad Luck Fale once again in control. Pin by Fale. 1. Oh, I need a 1 count. Wow. Trying to bring Nakamura back up, but Nakamura fighting back. There's an arm breaker. A big forearm. Now Nakamura, there's that reverse release Regalplex. And maybe Nakamura has got this now under his control. Will we see the Kinshasa though? Yes, we do, the Kinshasa. Nakamura rolling Fale over, pulls the leg away from the ropes. 1, 2, and 3. And it is 1-0 to Japan on the night. Big, big win for them. Japan now know that they will at least see it to the 6-man tag. They can't get knocked out before that now. And that's a great win there for Shinsuke Nakamura over Bad Luck Fale. 1-0 Japan. 2 more matches, singles matches coming for you. Travis Banks versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. And Jay White versus Kazuchika Okada. And if both Tanahashi and Okada win those matches, then Japan are marching their way through to the next round. Great win. Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm happy with that. He's done well. He has done well. He's had a bit of an up and down time so far in this competition. But he's definitely proven himself now. And this is business time. This is when it starts to hit the fan. And here is match number 2 of the evening. Travis Banks versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Good times. This should be an interesting one. Travis Banks now, of course, part of the WWE NXT roster. And somebody I hope we get to see a lot more of in NXT and WWE as well. I think he... I don't know, it's tricky because... I've known a lot about him for quite some time, but during the WWE UK was the first time I got to watch the proper matches of him, a full match, not just little snippets as well. And he did improve me quite a lot. I didn't realise he was so much of a striker, but that could be pretty interesting with certain matches in WWE. And I'd like to see him. I'd like to see just one if WWE one night did this sort of NXT special. Maybe pitting some of the top stars, the likes of AJ Styles, Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, those sort of guys, against some up-and-comers. I think that would be a really cool sort of show. So like Travis Banks take it on Daniel Bryan maybe, and I'm trying to think now. My mind's gone blank. There'd be loads. There would be loads. I'm trying to think now. The likes of Ricochet, Adam Cole, of course, in NXT could take on somebody as well. And I would like to see him do something on them sort of lines. I think it is really good for putting some of the younger talent over. Is giving them the opportunity to showcase himself. If you look at Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, both of those two really got a massive boost onto the main roster by being part of the John Cena United States Championship call-outs situation. I can't remember what it's called, the call-out or the open challenge. That's what I'm calling. Yeah, so that was pretty good. That was. I think that was a good way of getting him over. Of course, at that point in time, John Cena was disliked by the majority of the crowd, which really helped get the likes of Owen and Sami Zayn over. Of course, they were both going to be over anyway, but the fact that they had that match against Cena, and they both had cracking matches against Cena as well. Of course, Kevin Owens actually defeated John Cena for the belt, but Sami Zayn had a fantastic match. Unfortunately, dislocated his shoulder in the process, but as you do. But yeah, it was quite impressive. So we got then Travis Banks versus Tanahashi. Tanahashi knows that one more point will put them really in the driving seat. And Banks knows that he really needs to turn this one around. Either way, both these guys desperate for the point. Say Japan just need 2 points from the final 4 to guarantee their place in the next round. New Zealand need 3 out of the final 4 points to guarantee themselves through. Banks clubbing blow to the back of the head. And Banks now, of course, it's been an interesting match as well. Maybe we can do some sort of super show. Some sort of New Japan versus Triple H super show, or... That's pretty cool. I have dabbled with the idea of not just doing a... Of course, we've got the World Cup, and maybe doing some sort of tournament for the companies as well. So same sort of style as what we've done so far, but use people to basically... I don't know how the best way would be to do it, but to represent their company, but maybe just of all time. So I don't know whether we would class maybe AJ Styles, Samoa Joe as TNA, maybe in that situation. I don't know, because they're massive parts of TNA's history. We'd have a WCW team with a few names in there, maybe a retro team, an attitude team, a toothless aggression team, then have a New Japan team, a Noah team, a Lucha Underground, a AAA, a CMLL. But I've also dabbled the idea of just doing a King of Trios as well at some point. Which would be pretty cool because we've got a lot of trios already. Pre-made ones like the New Day and Sanity and people like that we can use. So there's a lot of different ideas that we can look at doing. As Travis Banks doing very well here, sending Tanahashi into the corner. Spins him round and Tanahashi gets in Banks with a boot in the leg, now into a shin breaker, then a dragon screw. Banks bringing himself back up to his feet and Tanahashi just clotheslines him over the top. And the battle commences on the outside. Tell you what, a cheap win by countout would be interesting in this situation, wouldn't it? Banks now sending Tanahashi into the corner once again. Tanahashi dragging Banks away. So Banks dragging Tanahashi away into that disaster kick. And now a boot right in the gut as well. And Banks locking in that submission hold. Beautifully positioned. If Tanahashi taps, that makes it 1-1 on the night. Tanahashi holding on for dear life and able to break free. Pin now there as well by Banks on Tanahashi, in for a 2 count only. But Banks definitely doing a great job here on Tanahashi, knows how important this point is. Banks maybe taking a bit too long here though, thinking about it. Nice stamp on the back of the head by Banks on Tanahashi now. Takes him up into a running Liger bomb. But Tanahashi back up on his feet, taking Banks down. I'd really like to see New Zealand do well here. I feel like they're the underdogs. Sling blade by Tanahashi. Slamming the arm now of Banks into the mat. Both guys back up. Tanahashi now. Nice front drop. Heads up to the top. He's got him positioned. Are we going to see a high fly flow? There it is. The big frog splash. 2. And no. I just reached for the pen to mark off the victory. But it's not time yet. Travis Banks holds on. Tanahashi back up on his feet. Grabs Banks. Takes now into the snapmare, but does he have enough? With that reverse Bloody Sunday. Does Tanahashi have enough left in the locker to finish Banks off? Will it take another high fly flow? And this just shows how big this is for both guys involved in this competition right now. They're both desperate for the win. Tanahashi's second sling blade of the match. Brings Banks back up, but Banks once again tripping Tanahashi over. Has he been able to recuperate enough to have a go here? Nice disaster kick once again by Travis Banks on Tanahashi. Brings Tanahashi back up to his feet. And drives him into the mat. And there is once again dead center of the ring, locking in that submission hold. The Gargano escape. Is Tanahashi going to tap? He's in a lot of pain right now, but he does Once again, managed to break free. Once again, the pin by Travis Banks. And it was enough, though. He'd sucked all the energy out of Tanahashi with that submission hold. And Tanahashi stayed down. He literally used all he had left in the locker to break out of that, submission. Which now means that no matter what happens in the next singles match, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, does it? Because it's literally down now to whoever wins a 6-man tag. It's either going to end in 4-1 or 3-2, isn't it? Well done to Travis Banks, though, saving his team from the embarrassment of being hit 3-0, I suppose, if you look at it that way. But it's 1-1 after 2 matches here in this quarterfinal, with White versus Okada next. And here is the final singles match of the episode then. Jay White versus Kazuchika Okada. Like I said, it's a bit of a dead match because it doesn't really matter too much, does it really? Because it literally is going to go down to the 6-man tag. That's it, really. But it's worth a laugh. It's interesting. And it will definitely affect the momentum going into that final match. But I'm looking forward to this one. 2 of the top stars in New Japan at the moment as well. I think Jay White's still top star in Japan. I know he was looking pretty strong early in the year. And now he's got his big opportunity to show what he can do on the global stage of SWE in front of literally tens of people that watch this video. And here is then Kazuchika Okada. Arguably the best in the world. He's definitely had more 5-star matches than anybody else I know of. So that for me would put him in that bracket of best in the world, I suppose. Maybe if in our list we have a best wrestler competition, maybe a King of the Ring or King of Pro Wrestling or something along them sort of lines, then maybe Kazuchika Okada could prove his ability. But we'll have to wait and see what you guys want to see on that. I believe he is also going to be involved in our... I don't know, I think he'll be part of our Throwdown roster, I believe. I'm not sure actually if he fits it or not. He was originally supposed to be planned as part of our Throwdown roster. But Throwdown sort of evolved a bit now in my mind. I've got different plans for Throwdown. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, I think. Okay, there's a handshake between the two guys. And obviously know each other quite well from their time in New Japan. Nice snap suplex there by Jay White on Kazuchika Okada. Nice slam there by Okada. Bringing Jay White back up to a kneeling base and a clubbing blow to the back. And there's Okada taking the lead. Like I said, this match is a bit of a duff one, really, because no matter what happens here, it will go down to the 6-man tag now. Which might be a little bit of an issue with my booking, I suppose, if you look at it that way. Maybe you should the 6-man tag first, but... well, I don't know. I suppose. There's different ways of looking at it, but either way, I still want to see this match. I don't know about you. I think it'd be a great match. Okada back up at his feet now, taking Jay White and slams him down. Nice drop kick. And Okada had Jay White there. I thought he was looking potentially for a tombstone power drive, but not able to pull it off. And now Jay White taking Okada up and slamming him down. And now Jay White stalking Okada. This could be a short one, this. Locks it in and... Oh, I forgot. Is that for the switchblade? Oh, I need a 2 count. I really thought Jay White had that one won there. Big splash. Now Okada taking White up onto his shoulders. Drop it in face first. Joe once again bringing him back up to his feet. Oh, now looking for the tombstone powder. He does hit it. But White fighting back. Such a good back and forth. Like I said, these two guys seem to know each other so well. Wow, what a lockup that is. By Okada. And he taps out as well. Wow. I was not expecting that tap out right there, to be honest. It was a brutal lock-in submission, to be honest with you, but I wasn't quite expecting that to be tapped out there. Wow, what a win that is by Okada. Like I said, doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference. Momentum only, really, but it is going to affect... It's going to affect the final score, but in a very minimal way, I suppose. It's either going to finish now 3-2 or 4-1. We know that. And I'm surprised that Okada managed to survive that switchblade, but it was a tombstone power driver, obviously causing some damage and weakness to the neck, which allowed him to kick out of, or tap out, shall I say, to the... And here it is in the all-important 6-man tag. New Zealand versus Japan for a place in the semi-finals of the World Cup. Currently 2-1 to Japan, but it comes into this match 2 points for the win. So 2 points for Japan will make it 4-1. 2 points for New Zealand would make it 3-2. First up, New Zealand. Let's see, I've got my computer working again. We're good, we're good, we're going good. So tonight, so far, it's been an interesting night for New Zealand. Bad luck Fale and Jay White did very, very well in their respective matches, or respective matches, should I say, but unable to come out on top. However, Travis Banks did come out on top, which gives New Zealand this opportunity. Nakamura and Okada both getting the victories, of course, like I said, against Bad luck Fale and Jay White. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the only Japanese man to lose so far. If he'd won his match, then Japan would already be through coming into this match. So, of course, they've had an interval between the singles matches and the 6-man tag. A chance to recuperate, a chance to catch their breath and catch their thoughts. Go with some sort of plan as well. Of course, it is a Tornado 6-man tag, so everybody is legal. It's all about just getting the numbers on your side and defending the pinfalls. Well, defending your pinfalls, of course. Attacking your opponent's pinfalls, I suppose. Look at it that way. And here then, of course, Team Japan. Team Japan. The team of Nakamura, Okada, and Tanahashi. Like I said, on paper, in my opinion, one of the, if not the strongest team in the competition. And now it's time. We are underway. In the biggest match so far in the competition, the match that determines who goes through to the next round. To meet the winner, of course, of Canada and Germany. So, could be an interesting one, that. And so far, it's mixed-ish. New Zealand have the slight advantage at the moment. But Japan have turned it around now with Nakamura and Tanahashi both taking advantage of their prospective guys. And Travis Banks actually sliding to the outside to try and get some sort of breath back. Okada now taking Fale out. Fale slides out the back. Oh, but there you go. That's the numbers game catching up for you there. Just as Fale looked like he was going to try and do something, he caught a knee in the spine by Shinsuke Nakamura. But again, it's turned around a little bit with Banks and Fale once again getting control. It's so interesting the fact that it can come down to this match, isn't it, really? Literally could go either way at this point in time. Front chance to by Okada there on Travis Banks and just pushes him away, and Banks catches him with the jawbreaker. Nice clothesline now. Banks with Nakamura on his shoulder, slamming down to the ground. And Travis Banks really doing well here, actually. Considering the bad luck Fale was down on the outside, it was 2-on-1 there for a moment. I think Banks able to control two guys at once and has really given New Zealand the chance to get back into this. Tanahashi breaking free from that powerbomb position by Fale. Final taking Tanahashi up onto his shoulders. Oh, and Okada's accidentally caught the referee there, which is actually in his, well, in his interest, really, because you see Banks has just hit a massive maneuver on Nakamura, as did Bad Luck Fale on Tanahashi, and now they can't take advantage of that and actually go for the pin because of the current situation. Pin there by Travis Banks on Nakamura. Oh my god, that was close, but Tanahashi just broke it up. That was almost New Zealand's place in the semi-final. Nice front suplex there by Nakamura, and all of a sudden Japan have full control of this match. Nakamura, Okada and Tanahashi all up on their feet. Only only one member of the New Zealand team is actually in the ring. That's DDT there by Nakamura. And then, oh, backstab on Jay White, who just got the control over Okada. And now the reverse Regal Plex as well, sending... Oh, that worked out better, didn't it? As soon as he was on the ground taunting away, and Travis Banks just turned up and just booted him in the back. Tanahashi heads up top. Could there be a high fly flow? There is indeed a high fly flow, but somebody needs to take Bad Luck Fale out of the picture. Oh, it looks like Bad Luck Fale's taken himself out of the picture here. There's the pin by Tanahashi. 1, 2. Bad Luck Fale didn't get there, and Team Japan get the win. And Team Japan get the 4-1 victory, which puts them through into the semi-finals. Bad Luck Fale really just showing some naivety there and not really paying full attention to some of the aspects inside the ring, which has led to Japan getting the win. And like I said, heading into the semi-finals to face the winners of Canada versus Germany, which will be our fourth and final quarter-final. That's one. Our fourth and final quarter-final. What a win then for Japan. And they're going through the semi-finals. I said before, I thought Japan were one of the strongest teams in the competition. And after a rocky time in the group stages, I think they're finally starting to prove me correct. So there we go. Japan head through to the semi-finals. Our first team into the semi-finals. Who will be joining them? You'll have to find out in a couple of days' time when our next video, India versus the United States of America, goes live. If you've enjoyed this one, please do hit a like and of course subscribe if you want to see some more. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.